You know, with respect to the quiet filing issue, Commissioner Schulman recently announced that, or one of his cohorts, everything comes through him anyway, that they're going back to the 2009 voluntary disclosure program, and they're looking at the quiet filings that were done at that time for further review to determine whether or not they want to take further action against those taxpayers. If these announcements come out regularly, and the IRS seems to be under the mistaken impression that because they put something on their site, the public on their website, the public in general seems to know about it. And of course, the public in general virtually knows nothing about anything that the IRS does until they get a knock on their door or they get a letter. But that said, they are still going forward under that particular set of circumstances. So they're looking at these quiet filings, and they are trying to make a determination whether or not they're going to seek to prosecute those people either civilly or criminally, or in some other way, shape, or form punish them for their quiet filing activities. As Dennis said earlier, there's always been a voluntary disclosure program, but what makes this one unique is that this and the previous one unique was actually this one's even more unique, is they set up an entire campus in Austin, Texas, what they call a campus, where all the agents that are reviewing these things are located, and they're moving agents in there, and they have been continually raising the population of that group of people. And this is like a case of the tail wagging the dog. Traditionally, before you get to the criminal division of IRS, there's a whole procedure that's gone through. It's a series of steps. First, you got to file your return. Then it has to be reviewed at the civil level, and somebody has to make a decision to ask for a criminal review. It has to eventually go to Washington, D.C. for criminal prosecution permission, come back to the local location. Then you get another chance to go back up and argue it. There's a whole process. Now the tail's wagging the dog. Now everything goes straight to criminal investigations. Everything in this program goes straight to criminal investigations. Their campus in Austin, Texas, and they're being directed by Global Criminal Investigations in Washington, D.C. to do this. And the folks that were part of the original 2009 program, they've been sort of left out to pasture. None of them have been invited into this program that we know of, because we talk to them periodically because old cases are still closing. And they're telling us they're being told they're not invited in. And so it's all really interesting. And the other thing that's happening is that they've been opening up IRS offices in embassies around the world which are manned by criminal investigations agents. These people become attachés to the embassies. They opened one in Panama last year. They've opened one in India. They're opening them in Singapore, Indonesia. They're having one in Israel. Everywhere that they see where these accounts popped up under the old program, after UBS, where people came in and disclosed, they're opening up attaché offices, and they are going to use those offices, according to them, as part of the entire FATCA procedure and everything else that's going on. So it is a changed world, and you can probably bet that if an account was located in what is now considered a tax haven location or a banking haven location, those accounts are more likely to get a stricter review than accounts that weren't.